Keokuk County Expo 2024 Stars, Stripes, and Summer Nights is the place to be in July. Things start off with a bang on Monday, July 15th with Rogue Rodeo at 7:30 p.m. On Thursday, July 18th is the Keokuk County Expo Queen Contest and the Bill Riley Talent Search. On Friday, Tyler Richton and the High Bank Boys will be in concert starting at 7:30 p.m. And then on Saturday, it's the Figure 8 races at the Keokuk County Expo. Bring the family, have a great time, and enjoy the fair at the Keokuk County Expo in Sigourney. The Union Mills Community Closet presents Christmas in July fundraiser dinner, July 27th, starting at 5 p.m. at Bradbury Hall, Nelson Pioneer Farm, Oskaloosa. Serving a catered dinner of chicken cordon bleu or savory sliced beef. Call 641-200-1940 or look for Union Mills Community Closet on Facebook to purchase your tickets. Tickets are $30 or $240 to reserve an entire table. All proceeds directly benefit Union Mills Community Christmas Toy Drive. It's the Christmas in July fundraiser dinner, July 27th at Bradbury Hall, Nelson Pioneer Farm. The Delta Fireman's Ball is Saturday, July 27th. You can enjoy food, live music, games, and more. There will be a poker run from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Keith Davis will be playing music from 6 to 9 p.m. For more information on the Delta Fireman's Ball, contact Jim or Fake Harry at 319-212-8772. The Delta Fireman's Ball is coming up Saturday, July 27th. Don't miss it. Saturday, July 20th, the Southern Iowa Fair welcomes Eddie Montgomery of Montgomery Gentry, along with special guest Dylan Carmichael and area favorites, The Boys. Tickets in advance are $40. Get your tickets at sifonlinestore.com. For more information, stop by the fair office at 615 North I Street in Oskaloosa or call 641-673-7004. It's Eddie Montgomery of Montgomery Gentry headlining the Southern Iowa Fair concert on Saturday, July 20th. Doors open at 6:30. Start time is at 7:30 p.m. Tickets are $45 the day of the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the thousands listening locally and the millions listening around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to shuffle!
Hello! Good morning to you. It is time for the morning wake-up here on Steve Shetler Media. Time to get you going on this Monday morning. We are broadcasting live from the Oski Dental Studios. You can call and schedule your appointment with Dr. Schuster at 641-673-4845. They're accepting new patients. Oski Dental going to file your insurance forms for you. A Delta Dental provider and located at 902 South 17th Street in Oskaloosa. The Oski Dental Studios here on Steve Shetler Media, the morning wake up. Our forecast, let's jump into it. It's brought to us by the Garden Gate at 105 South Jefferson in Sigourney at 641-622-3191, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 9 to noon. Cindy, the owner of the Garden Gate. Heat advisory for today. What does that mean? Well, heat index values between 100 to 110 expected for today. That heat advisory from 1 p.m. until 8 p.m. this evening for a large chunk of our viewing area. You know, of course, we focus here on Southeast Iowa. Let's see here. Hot temps, high humidity could cause heat-related illnesses. Other details include thunderstorms developing this afternoon that could bring some relief from the heat to areas north of Interstate 80. Southern areas will continue to see the heat into the early evening. You are advised by the National Weather Service to drink plenty of fluids, stay in an air-conditioned room if you can, stay out of the sun, check up on relatives and neighbors if you can. Our forecast, again, brought to us by the Garden Gate, that heat advisory, 1 to 8 p.m. So there is a slight chance of some showers and storms later on today, mainly after 3 p.m. Some of those, if we see them, could be severe. Mostly sunny and hot, a high of 95, heat index again over 100, south winds gusting up to 20 miles per hour. Showers and storms are likely tonight, mainly before 1 a.m. Again, some of those could be severe. And the rain chance goes up to 70% for tonight. Rainfall amounts could be between 1 to 2 inches for tonight. Tomorrow, a slight chance of some lingering showers and storms early in the morning. Otherwise, sunny tomorrow and not nearly as hot. A high of 95 degrees, a high of 85 for tomorrow. And then tomorrow night, mostly clear, a low of 64. Wednesday, man, we'll take Wednesday. Sunshine and 79 on Wednesday. Again, our weather brought to us by the Garden Gate in Sigourney. Heat advisory goes into effect at 1 p.m. Earlier this morning on Steve Shetler Media Facebook, we always put up our This or That. It's brought to us by Stacy Flynn at the Legacy Insurance Group and Welcome Realty in Sigourney. Which one are you going to choose? Is it chocolate milk or is it white milk? If you had to choose, I know some people say, oh, both, or maybe, they can't decide. But yeah, it's just, if you had to. I am 152% going with chocolate milk. I mean, I use white milk in my cereal every morning. But if I'm drinking milk, it is chocolate milk all the time. Love chocolate milk. So this or that, which one are you choosing? You can comment on that post that went up at 6 a.m. All right, let's go to our question of the day. It's brought to us by Amy's Salon House and Spa, 202 North Main in Sigourney. And, on Friday, we put up, the question was, what's the best summer job you ever had? So we're going to go the opposite of that today. What's the worst summer job you ever had? It's funny because on Friday we had some people say that detasseling was their best summer job that they've ever had, and some people thought that that was crazy. But some people like detasseling. Some people don't mind hard work. People were saying that baling hay was their best summer job. So it just depends on the person. So today, what's the worst summer job you ever had? And I'm just going to assume that detasseling, especially here in Iowa, is going to be mentioned numerous times. People hated detasseling. Detasseling, I did it, I don't know, at least a couple of summers. Not a fun job by any means, but, you look back, since I survived detasseling, I look back at detasseling with fond memories. It all depends on who you are working with and if you could make fun, you have some fun in the situation. I mean, detasseling itself is a pretty miserable job as far as I'm concerned. But if you're working with the right people in the right situation, it can be all right. So, we'll see what people say on that today. What's the worst summer job you ever had? All right, let's take a look at our current matchup in the For the Fun of It tournament going on. This matchup went up live at 6 p.m. last evening, goes through 6 p.m. this evening. Our tournament here in July brought to us by Josh Clubb, the Handyman. Son-in-Law Services is what it's called. Give Josh a call at 319-431-1806, and he can help you out. We got the Wapello County Fair Expo. Let me clarify that because there's two fairs in Wapello County. The Wapello County Fair Expo going against the Jasper County Fair in our current matchup. Now, as I was kind of hoping with this tournament in July, the Wapello County Fair Expo people noticed this matchup going on, and they are sharing and voting. They are showing some pride in their Wapello County Fair Expo, and they're hitting that like, they're getting their votes in. So that's what I was kind of going for with this whole tournament, was that the fairs themselves would enjoy this, would find some competition in this, and share it and get people to get involved and show some hometown pride. So the Wapello County Fair Expo in Wapello County showing that hometown pride, and they are leading significantly right now. We'll see if the Jasper County folks get a hold of this and maybe get their troops rallied. But Wapello County Fair Expo against Jasper County Fair in our Southeast Iowa County Fair Tournament. Let's take a look at our full brackets. So far, the Keokuk County Expo has moved on, going to be facing the Keokuk County Fair in the second round. So a battle of Keokuk County coming up in the next round. Over on the other side, we got Wapello County Fair. Now, again, that could be another matchup within the same county, as Wapello County Expo is currently leading their matchup. Now, you go down to the bottom there. At the bottom left, Washington County Fair, and then over on the bottom right, Marion County Fair have both moved on. So those are our winners so far. And again, the Wapello County Fair Expo looking to move on in their next matchup. What else we got going on here? Let's see here. I do want to point out some things going on our community calendar. One of those today, of course, speaking of county fairs, we are right now is going to be a really busy time in not only Sigourney with the Expo, the Southern Iowa Fair and Oski getting going, and lots of county fairs just rocking and rolling right now. One of the many events that's going on at our area fairs is Laura Ernst. I'll be at the Keokuk County Expo today, starting at 3 p.m. It's free to all ages, and it looks like she's going to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little juggling. How do you say that? Cirque du Soleil? Cirque du Soleil? I don't know how you say that. Those words. Cirque. I'm making myself look like an idiot. But if you like that type of stuff, acrobatic, dancing, jumping stuff, juggling it looks like, check that out. That's being put on by the Sigourney Public Library. And you can go see Laura Ernst at the Keokuk County Expo in Sigourney this afternoon. Also on our community calendar, also going on at the Expo I know tonight, is the Rogue Rodeo. That'll be one thing going on. Another thing going on here in Sigourney are the Sigourney girls softball team going to be playing for a chance to go to the state tournament tonight at the softball field in Sigourney. We'll see how they deal with the heat situation with that. I believe that should start around 7. Don't quote me on that. I mean, that's just kind of a general start time for sports, but good luck to the Sigourney girls as they play for their chance to get into state. They're going to be taking on Wapello tonight in a girls' action. They had an exciting win over Highland on Friday night. So some stuff going on in our area coming up this evening. What else we got going on? Coming up later on this week, we will be going to Barnwired in Sigourney for our Iowa Music Showcase. Coming up this Friday, Doc Johnson, an American Made. I don't know if we're going to get the full band. I'm guessing we might just get Doc Johnson and maybe one or two of the guys from American Made, but that'll be at 11:30 to noon, live at Barnwired in Sigourney this Friday. Coming up on Saturday, we'll have the sports section, live at Brothers Market, talking area sports with our host, Mitch Eslick. And then tomorrow night, and every Tuesday night tune-up, talking local racing. Safe Grafke, your host, That's Tuesdays live from Smoky Row in Oskaloosa at 7 p.m. So make sure you tune in for all of that good stuff. Let's take a look at our birthdays. To you, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Birthdays for today. Well, we're light on the hometown birthdays, but hometown real estate bringing us our celebrity and hometown birthdays. Nikki Leathers, get a hold of her at 641-295-4142, hometown-re.com. Hometown birthdays. Anybody else have any birthdays today? Hometown birthdays. We got Kelly Mosel. Kelly having a birthday today, so happy birthday to Kelly on the hometown side. Again, you can always email in or message me your birthdays. SteveShutlerMedia@gmail.com. On the celebrity side, we've got singer Linda Ronstadt turning 78 years old. We've got wrestler, pro wrestler, governor, actor Jesse the Body Ventura turning 73 years old. Yeah, he was a wrestler back in the day. He always had the feather boas around his neck, the sunglasses. He was in the movie Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger way back when. Went on to be governor of Minnesota. Jesse Ventura, 73. Got guitar player, extraordinary guitar player, world-class guitar player, Joe Satriani, turning 78. Actor Forrest Whitaker, 63. Actress Brigitte Nielsen. What was she in? Rocky 3? Rocky 4? Where she was the tall blonde for the Russians. Brigitte Nielsen, 61. Got actor Brian Austin Green, 51. Comedian Gabriel Iglesias, 48. And then Young Sheldon, from the TV show Young Sheldon, Ian Armitage is 16 years old. So happy birthday to those folks, celebrity and hometown birthdays, brought to us by Hometown Real Estate in Sigourney. I think that's what's going on here in the area. All right, good morning to you. Let's take a look at let me get my phone here. Good morning to you, Bubby. Bubby always number one on the good mornings. We've got Jackie. Appreciate you sharing the video. Sandy, Dan, Dixie, Amber, Dodie, Sherry, Eloise, and Amber. Lots of Ambers, lots of Sherrys. Hanging out this morning here on the Morning Wake Up on a Monday. Again, it's going to be a hot one today. Heat advisory goes into effect at 1 p.m. On this date in history, on this date in 1916, the Boeing Company, like the airplanes, Boeing, originally known as Pacific Aero Products, founded in Seattle by William Boeing on this date. It was on this date in 1929. Speaking of airlines and airplanes, the first airport hotel opened up in Oakland, California, 1929. It was on this date in 1946, the comedy team of Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis made their debut together, made a lot of people laugh. It was on this date in 1968, One Life to Live made its debut on ABC television. And on this date in 1988, yippee-ki-yay, Die Hard, starring Bruce Willis, made its debut in theaters. A lot of people consider that a Christmas movie since it was set at Christmas time, but it was released in theaters in the summer of 1988. Today, on the National Day calendar, on this Monday, July 15th, today is Orange Chicken Day. So if you have any orange chickens clucking around, give them a hug. It's Orange Chicken Day. It's Gummy Worm Day. It's National Respect Canada. We respect you, Canada. It's I Love Horses Day. And it's National Give Something Away Day. It's also National Be a Dork Day. Right here. You get me daily. Here on Steve Shutler Media, National Be a Dork. So those are some of your days that you can celebrate on this Monday. All right, before we go any further, let's hear from one of our many sponsors here on Steve Shutler Media, including Tassel Ridge Winery.
Edelweiss wine from Tassel Ridge Winery is a great wine to pair with Iowa sweet corn. It's a fruity, semi-sweet white wine that offers orange, pear, and pineapple hints on both the nose and palate. It's great served chilled and paired with Iowa sweet corn and the foods that usually accompany sweet corn. All of the grapes for this wine are grown at the winery. Tassel Ridge Edelweiss is available at many local retailers. Look for the tall blue bottle with an image of a wine glass on the label. If you don't see Tassel Ridge Edelweiss at your favorite retailer, ask the manager to get it for you. Tassel Ridge Winery is located in Lighton on Highway 163 between Pella and Oskaloosa and is open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday from 9 to 6, Saturday from 10 to 6, and Sunday from noon to 6. Check our website out at tasselridge.com.
Alrighty, once again, we do thank Tassel Ridge for being one of our many sponsors here on Steve Shetler Media. We're doing the morning wake up, and we are broadcasting live from the Oski Dental Studios. All right, let's go ahead and jump into some things you need to know. Whoa! Things you need to know. Of course, this is headlining our news from out of the weekend. Donald Trump, presidential candidate, former President Donald Trump, surviving an assassination attempt over the weekend at a rally of his. Came, as many people have said, millimeters, centimeters, inches away from potential death as an assassin tried to take him out and caught the top of his ear. President Donald Trump surviving that assassination attempt, and in normal Donald mode, showing his feistiness by standing up, blood running down from his ear onto his face and cheek, and raising his fist in defiance of the assassination attempt and saying, "Fight, fight, fight." So Donald Trump, and I was reading this morning that Donald will be going to the Republican National Convention, which starts today in Milwaukee. So he, his advisors, of course, were saying, maybe stay away a day or two, maybe let things calm down a bit. But Donald, he ain't staying away. He is showing that he is fine and well, and we'll be seeing him at the Republican National Convention. Donald Trump surviving that assassination attempt over the weekend. It was a rough weekend, I tell you what. Not only that happening, but a bunch of celebrity deaths over the weekend. These things, for whatever reason, they happen to go in threes. They happen to happen in threes. And that was the case over the weekend. Shannon Doherty, the actress from Beverly Hills 90210 and Charmed, losing her battle with breast cancer. She was 53. Fitness guru Richard Simmons, he passed away over the weekend. And Dr. Ruth, the sex therapist, who really came onto the scene, the 80s and 90s. She died over the weekend at the age of 96. So Dr. Ruth, Shannon Doherty, and Richard Simmons, 3 celebrities who passed away over the weekend. Other things you need to know: a judge dismissing involuntary manslaughter charges against Alec Baldwin on Friday. How did that happen? How did he get away with shooting somebody? I guess Alec Baldwin gets the free pass on this one. Other stuff: Kate Middleton, the Princess of Wales, made a rare public appearance at Wimbledon's men's final yesterday afternoon to present the winner's trophy to Carlos, however you say his last name, Alcaraz, I don't know. She presented the winner's trophy to the winner. How about that? Other stuff you need to know: the Beastie Boys are suing Chili's, the restaurant Chili's, over allegations that the restaurant chain used the rap trio's iconic song Sabotage in a social media advertisement without the Beastie Boys' permission. So we'll see what happens there. Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes and his wife Brittany expecting baby number 3. They made that announcement on Friday. Sad news out of football. Jacoby Jones, a former Baltimore Ravens wide receiver, passing away at the age of 40. I have no other information on that, so condolences to Jacoby Jones' family. Some lighter news. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift have reportedly spent an estimated $27 million between the two of them while dating over the past year. $27 million in dating expenses between Travis and Taylor. Wow, that's a lot of money. The data of AT&T customers has been hacked. This time around, all the data of both cellular and landline customers, as well as the records of calls and text messages from a 6-month period of 2022 was stolen. So, yeah, your info is always at risk of being hacked and leaked and bought and stolen. That has happened to AT&T customers. How about Will Ferrell? Will says that James Caan once told him on the set of the movie Elf, "You're not funny." And that maybe he was a little too over the top in his acting. James Caan later called Will's performance brilliant, so he did kind of retract those words. Now, Ferrell also said he once turned down $29 million to do a sequel to Elf. Good for Will, because you know what? Not every movie needs to have a sequel or a prequel. Some movies can just be by themselves and live on and be famous and people's favorite movie forever without sequels or prequels. So Elf, just leave it alone. Other stuff you need to know. Katy Perry's 6th studio album called is it 143 or 143? I don't know. It's going to drop on September 20th. She says this will be her happiest record yet. Let's see here. Forever stamps going up in prices. Hopefully you got your Forever stamps before the price went up. They went up from 68 cents to 73 cents. Wow. If you're interested, Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck's Beverly Hills mansion is on sale. It could be yours for a price of $68 million. It's an expensive house. Eddie Murphy. In other Hollywood news, Eddie Murphy is a married man again. He married his longtime partner, Paige Butcher, last week. They began dating back in 2012. They do have 2 kids together, and now they have decided to get married and stay together forever and ever and be happy. So congratulations to Eddie Murphy. Let's go ahead and do this. Today's Impossible Question. Today's impossible question. Let's see here. These animals who can live as long as 20 years don't have a set of upper front teeth. Now, if you're a farmer here in Iowa, you might know what animal we're talking about. Again, these animals who can live as long as 20 years don't have a set of upper front teeth. You find these animals in Iowa a lot. Think about that. Good morning to you, Darren. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody for hanging out this morning with me on a Monday on the Morning Wake Up. Again, we are broadcasting live from the Oski Dental Studios. Our impossible question for today. Does anybody have a guess? Again, these animals who can live as long as 20 years don't have a set of upper front teeth. The answer is, survey says, cows, evidently. According to this, cows don't have a set of upper front teeth. They just chew their cud. Let's get weird.
That is weird.
If we already weren't weird enough. A sci-fi inspired spacesuit that recycles urine into drinking water. Tasty. Salty. could enable astronauts to perform lengthy spacewalks on upcoming lunar expeditions. The prototype, modeled on the still suits in the sci-fi classic Dune, collects urine, purifies it, and can return it to the astronaut through a drinking tube within 5 minutes, so you can pee and then drink it in 5 minutes in space. Yummy. What do you get to eat? Does that come out the other end? How about this? Nature is fighting back. A fleet of drones patrolling New York City's beaches for signs of sharks and struggling swimmers is drawing a backlash from an aggressive group of seaside residents. They are the local shore birds, is what they're calling them. Since the drones began flying in May, flocks of birds have reportedly swarmed the devices, forcing the police department and other city agencies to adjust their flight plans. So, swarms of birds attacking drones in New York City. New York City! Let's go to San Francisco. Nude people in San Francisco. Justice went full frontal in the Castro area of San Francisco last week when two... Where's Neil Crott when you need him on this story? When two nudists took down a man attacking a tourist on the street. The Naked Samaritans, Pete and Lloyd, were letting it all hang out on a July 2nd stroll through the neighborhood. And they were just like... when they spotted a, quote, crazy kind of pirate guy threatening a man with a blowtorch. So you have two naked men spotting a pirate guy with a blowtorch. Video from the scene, I don't know if you want to watch that or not. Your eyes might burn if you do. A video from the scene shows an onlooker snag the blowtorch just before the attacker starts to punch the tourist, and then evidently the naked guys get involved. San Francisco. Let's go from naked guys and blowtorches to longhorn steers. A Texas longhorn steer used its horns to undo the latch on the back of a trailer and made a dash for freedom. Dun, 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 dun. Rhonda Collins said that she and her family were on northbound Interstate 83 Wednesday afternoon when they saw the steer in the trailer in front of them, appearing to rub its horns against the door latch. Collins said the doors swung open, and then the bull, the steer, jumped out onto the highway near the Fishing Creek exit. They say, quote, he rolled around a little bit, and then he got up like nothing happened. The steer was seen running on and off the highway, at one point visiting the front doors of some local businesses. They say with the help of numerous people, we were eventually able to get the steer loaded back into the trailer. So the steer running loose on the interstate. Now, it had to be quite the tumble if they were going down the interstate. And then also let's go to North Korea, where they have so much fun. This is disgusting and actually quite horrible. According to reports from South Korea, around 30 middle schoolers were publicly shot last week for watching South Korean dramas. Again, 30 middle schoolers in North Korea shot in public because they had watched some TV from South Korea. The shows were reportedly stored on USBs that were brought over the border by North Korean defectors. So, North Korea, they deserve an atomic bomb. Let's see here. Let's go to the files of Law and Disorder. In disorder, teenage sprinter Isam Asinga will not be competing at the upcoming Paris Olympics, and he just sued Gatorade as a result. The 19-year-old, who is described by the Washington Post as, quote, the fastest high school sprinter in history, tested positive last summer for a banned substance. However, Asinga blames Gatorade, which gave him a gift basket that included what they call recovery gummies, labeled as certified for the sport. Now, Asinga alleges that the gummies were tainted in the manufacturing process with the illegal substance. It's something that Gatorade is denying. Now, in May, the governing body of World Track and Field rejected Asinga's argument and banned him for 4 years. So that is ending up in court. Shall we go ahead and do something that will make you smile? I think
something that makes you smile.
Something to make you smile, brought to us by Lifetime Dental Solutions. They're moving. In fact, they're getting really, really close to opening up their new location at 115 South Jefferson in Sigourney, the previous Sigourney Smiles location. They're accepting new patients. Call them at 641-622-2669. Dr. Stacy Freeze, Lifetime Dental Solutions. Something to make you smile. This might make life a little easier. A simple and inexpensive paper strip test could help diagnose the flu and distinguish between the main types of seasonal flu, like influenza A and B, as well as identifying more strains like H1N1 and H3N2. That's first used to test for the COVID coronavirus and later to distinguish between the Delta and other variants. The team began adapting the test to detect the flu back in 2022. It can be conducted at room temperature in about 90 minutes. So, again, a simple paper strip test that could be used to spot the flu and identify the strain. So, we'll see if that becomes more of a public thing once we get into flu season here in Iowa later on this year. That is something to make you smile. That full story goes up on Steve Shuttler Media Facebook coming up at 7:45. Brought to us by Dr. Stacy Freeze at Lifetime Dental Solutions. Let's wrap this up for today. Are we about done? I think we're about done. Yeah. Let's go with our top money-making movies from the weekend at the box office. We do have some legitimate hits now on our hands. Went a long time this year without any big hits, but we've had a couple now. Despicable Me 4 is number one again this weekend. It brought in about $44.6 million at the box office, bringing its box office total to over $200 million. Despicable Me 4. The movie Longlegs, which, if I remember correctly, is a scary movie, comes in at number 2 for this weekend, $22.6 million in its debut weekend. Inside Out 2 hangs around at number 3, bringing in nearly another $21 million. It has brought in a total haul so far in the United States, $572.5 million. The hit of the year so far at the movies. Quiet Place, day one, hangs around at number 4. It brought in nearly $12 million. It so far has brought in about $116 million. The movie Fly Me to the Moon debuts at number 5 with $10 million. Let's see here, Bad Boys, which is another legitimate box office hit. Bad Boys at number 6. It has brought in a total so far of about $185 million. Rounding out your top 10, Horizon: An American Saga at number 7. The movie Maxine at 8. Sound of Hope at 9. And a re-release of Lion King at number 10. So those are your movie box office results from over the weekend. Let's take a look at our forecast once again. It's brought to us by the Garden Gate in Sigourney. Heat advisory. Do keep that in mind. Heat advisory at 1 p.m. And that goes through 8 p.m. this evening. So If you're outside, if you have to work outside, man, drink plenty of water, drink plenty of fluids today. Take some breaks occasionally. It's going to be hot. Stay inside if you can today in the air conditioning. Heat advisory 1 to 8. And then today, a chance of some showers and thunderstorms late this afternoon. Could be severe. A high of 95 degrees. Your weather brought to us by the Garden Gate. Of course, we do broadcast from the Oski Dental Studios. Give them a call. Schedule an appointment with Dr. Dan at 641-673-4845. Video-wise, coming up here on a Monday on Steve Shetler Media. Let me look up at the schedule. We've got an encouraging word with Kevin Hempel, hopefully, at 5 p.m. later on today. Successful Farming, 5:30. Real Talk with Pastor Aaron Fleming and myself. It's going to be delayed till tomorrow evening, so don't look for that tonight. That'll be tomorrow night. We'll have some pro wrestling talk, if you like some pro wrestling. Card subject to change. That comes up tonight at 7 p.m. And, of course, in remembrance of every weekday at 8 a.m., that'll be here in just a few minutes on Steve Shetler Media. I was having some issues earlier trying to get the Living the Country Life video up and running. I'll give that a try. Once we wrap things up here, we'll give that a try here momentarily. So we'll see technology. We'll see if my technology works here at Steve Shetler Media. Otherwise, you guys have a great Monday. Again, it's going to be hot, so be careful, be safe, and we'll see you back here at 7 a.m. tomorrow.